Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to discuss 5 of the recommended altcoins that you gave me on Twitter to have a look at. We're gonna check the charts and whether things are a good buy and whether you should hold maybe. Also, I want to say this is not financial advice, so please keep that in mind. It's just my own opinion. But let's dive into the altcoins. So we're gonna have a look at Arbitrum, MATIC, CFX, Litecoin, and Sol. These are 5 interesting altcoins in my opinion as well. So let's have a look at the charts. Now first we're going to start with Arbitrum. This coin is not a very old coin. We got it since the airdrop on the 23rd of March this year. So it's has basically been in an accumulation range. And we recently broke out of this diagonal resistance, and the price has been pumping pretty hard so far. It has almost done 50%, which are very good returns. And we have also retested this previous resistance around here, so it has been turned into a support. And I think we will somewhere in the future see probably a retest of that support. So what are we looking at for Arbitrum? If we zoom in a little bit on the 1-hour candles, we can see that it has formed a double top so far around here. I think we're just gonna smash through it and continue our journey upwards for a while. I would not say that I would not recommend to buy this coin right now, since it has already done a bump of, what is it, from bottom to top of 50%. And I can easily see this retesting this support again. Now what I'm interested in buying this again is maybe instead of this support all the way here, is the support here, since a lot of people will probably be front running this support. So I think it makes sense for us. We continue up for a bit, maybe go down, retest, and somewhere, I don't think it's going to be here already, I think it's going to be a bit later, but retest this support area and then continue up again. I would not recommend shorting this coin since we don't have any resistance really, only in this first minute candles, but I wouldn't really count that as resistances. So basically Arbitrum has been in price discovery mode. I would never recommend shorting things that are in price discovery mode. I would rather just wait for a pullback and then maybe re-enter on these pullbacks when we start seeing it being turned into a support. For example, we can also maybe have something like this. We continue up more and then retest this area before continuing. All right, and then let's have a look at MATIC. This has been a very old coin as well. So first let's zoom out a little bit. This has been a very long time ago. I remember buying something MATIC here, I think. And obviously I didn't really hold it all the way through. That would have been a life-changing hold, I think. But if not, unfortunately. So let's have a look at MATIC. Let's clean everything up and start drawing from the base. We're gonna put that in a log scale to have a better view at it. That's better. So basically what we've seen is a retest of this area that was during the bear market. Where is this? This has been acting as a support area for MATIC, and from there on we've seen a price gain of a whopping 380% from bottom to top, which is pretty good in my opinion. Now what can we see for MATIC in the near future? I think it's important, since we've seen on a lot of altcoins that these diagonal resistances have been acting as strong resistances over a lot of altcoins. So I think it's nice to be drawing this resistance line as well. Now this is a support area. This is a main resistance area, I would say, and here we also have a main resistance area. So something for MATIC that I can see happening is something like this. We continue up till this resistance, maybe break through it, and then we reach this diagonal resistance, which has only been touched 2 times, but it will probably be touched a third time, and then have some fuckery around here before breaking through and then maybe continuing up more. Also, what I can see is that we start ranging more until we finally break out there. Personally, I think this, well, what we can see is in a mid-range, so I'm not really trading it right now. I don't think you have a big edge or large edge trading this at the moment. If you're holding it, I would hold it at least till the upper range. And if you want to buy, I would be buying this in the breakout or after we retested this region here. If we, for some reason, don't break out here, it would be a possibility that we go back all the way down to the bottom of this range, and this is a very good range to, or area to start buying MATIC. But for now, I wouldn't really be trading this. We can also zoom in a bit more. Maybe something interesting is going on there, but I don't really see anything special around here. So moving on to CFX. Now let's zoom out. I love zooming out on more daily candles, which usually gives a better view on things. Now this has been recommended in Twitter. I was asking what coins I should be charting, and CFX is a coin that a lot of people suggested and got a lot of likes. So basically what we've been seeing is this. It gives a completely different perspective if we turn the log scale off. Basically what we've seen is a very big area of accumulation, which means that whales and other people have been buying this coin. Now it has seen a significant run up of a 2100%, which is 21x from the bottom. And what we've seen is here on the previous pump, a good retest in this golden zone. Now that means if we draw a Fibonacci line from the bottom to the top here, that is, the golden zone is usually, or is in the 0.618 and between the 0.786 level. So this is the golden zone. Usually a price tends to bounce in this area. And now on the last recent pump, the higher time frame 0.8382 Fibonacci held as a strong support on this coin. Now, would I personally be buying this coin? No, absolutely not. I think there are way better opportunities than this coin, since it has already been pumped over 20 times from the bottom. I don't know if there's a short pair. It might be wise to start shorting this when we start seeing, for example, weakness in BTC or Ethereum. Like, these shitcoins tend to dump harder than coins like Ethereum or Bitcoin. Now, also to give you a bit of perspective, if we would start pumping to a new all-time high on this pair, for example, on the Binance pair, we will only have an increase of maybe 3 or 4x after it's already done this 21x from the bottom. So I don't think it's wise to buy here. I'm personally not buying, at least, but you have to decide that for yourself. But always, I think it's important to start zooming out a bit more to get more perspective on what really happened. And if you're not exit liquidity for the bigger players that have been accumulating in this area, because I think that is what is happening if you start buying here. Also, we can see that on the volume. There have been a lot of red big volume candles. Now then, moving on to Litecoin, and I've recently positioned myself into this coin. I think it's actually a really interesting coin, since this coin has been in accumulation for such a long time. This is a very old coin, since 2017, 16, I don't know from where, but I have bought it a few times in crypto, and I personally just bought a new bag of Litecoin. Now this coin has been in accumulation for a very long time. We've seen the accumulation range here in 2018, 2019, 2020. And then we've seen a very large price pump, and we almost did a 7x from the bottom, maybe even a bit more. And I think we will see something like this again. Now the price has been in accumulation for not a very long time, but for a long enough time. So that was, well, still a good half a year. And if we are putting this, we also retested this interesting area where I talked about the Fibonacci levels from bottom to top. We have been holding this 0.618 Fibonacci level as support, and we've also retested this accumulation range, which means we're out of accumulation, and it would make sense for the price to go up more. Now if we put it in a log scale, then something really interesting we can see here. As I talked about, I've seen a lot of altcoins that have had a very strong resistance on the diagonal line on higher time frame levels. Now if we start drawing this line, this yellow line, and I know it is not really correct here, but we are seeing 3 candles on the daily, so I think it makes sense that we skip this wick and then just draw it through the other 3 lines. Then what we actually see is the diagonal resistance is very, very close. Now for me, of course, we still have to break this resistance, but it would make sense for me as also seeing that altcoins and ETH and BTC have been very strong. Now for me, it would make sense that we are gonna go to this area right here, to this strong high time frame resistance. So I've bought it back in, I believe it was at $94 around this area, which is, around this area actually. I shared that in the Telegram as well. And I'm very bullish on Litecoin, and I think we will see other Dino coins starting to pump. So this is really interesting. Obviously, if we are starting to fall below, I think a price of, if we start falling below this level of $90, I might want to reconsider if this is still a good hold, or if we can actually start going down more. But for now, I think this is really interesting. And I think we just need to give it a little bit of time before we start breaking out of this diagonal resistance. Then we're gonna move to the last coin, which is Sol. Now let's zoom out a little bit. I love these daily candles actually. Not really interesting at the moment, I think. We have been retesting this area, so this has been acting as a very strong support for now, and we've actually seen a very large pump on this as well. From the bottom to the top was almost a 2.5x, which is really good. And for now, I think we are just gonna be ranging in this area actually. So of course we can see a breakout as well on these diagonal levels that we can see here. And I think this will also be a very strong resistance, but eventually we're gonna break through. So what I can see is something like this. is that we go up. This will be a strong resistance. Maybe we reject one more time, go here, reject this one more time, and then if we start to break this, this area around $40 makes a lot of sense for me, for Sol to go to. Now also we can see something else, which is that we just continue ranging in this wider range and eventually break out of this diagonal here. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you liked this video. Also, I will be doing this next week, I think. You can follow me on Twitter and on Telegram. And on Twitter, I'm gonna ask you for 5 different altcoins. So please make sure you follow, have notifications on, and you can also suggest your altcoin that I should be charting. For now, I wish you a good weekend, and yeah, cheers, bye.